Nice and tall through the spine. Take a moment to close your eyes. As you close your eyes, bring your awareness to the breath. And overall, how is the body feeling this morning? If you're watching this on a recording, how's the body feeling? Maybe it's afternoon or evening. Check in. Allow the breath to also build some mental strength and space for you. This is our first Wednesday class for the month of June, and in the month of June, I'm concentrating on the mantra, live simply. We're going through a seasonal change. We're also going through a big change in sort of post-COVID behaviors, reawakening to the world, if you will. And that can bring a lot of mixed emotions of joy, maybe some anxiety, some unsureness. This month on our yoga mat, we're looking not to overdo, not to overcomplicate. Breath and movement together, simple. All right, chin down to the chest and just rock the head from side to side. This pretty familiar warm-up and opening. And I see familiarity as something that keeps things simple. I love routine for that reason. Rock the right ear towards the right shoulder and keep it there. And then walk the left fingertips out. And the right hand on top of the head. Give it a little tug out to the side. Just enhance the stretch through the side of the neck. Little release in the shoulders. And then bring it all back in. Do the same to the second side. Left ear to left shoulder. Walk the right fingertips out, whether they're on the ground or a little lifted. And then left hand on top of the opposite ear, or just kind of side of the head. Okay, and then bring the hands back to the thighs and chin to the chest. Lift the head, gently let your eyes open. And we'll come on over to all fours. So today, in terms of the physical practice focus, it's a few variations of side plank. Do cat and cow here. Somewhat of a continuation. Last month, there was a lot of repetition of side plank in the sequence. This month, I'm using a sequence that has these two different variations of side plank. So a nice natural build. Cat and cow, just back and forth here. And then from cat and cow, do downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, stretch. And pedal the feet here as well. Almost like you're moving from side into side plank. Let the heels dip from side to side. Lift and dip, hips and heels side to side a couple of times. And then a regular old down dog. Find some stillness. Push the hands actively down and forward as you lengthen and straighten through the arms to create the strength. Think navel towards the spine to create the stability. And then lower your knees down, child's pose. So knees apart, big toes together. Sit back, reach the arms out in front of us. All actions that we're familiar with. Walk the hands over to the right side. Enjoy a good reach out to the left fingertips as you pull back on the left hip. Walk the hands across the center on over to our second side so we get a good reach out through the right hand, but a pull back on the right hip. And come back to the middle. Rise up to all fours. Anytime we're in all fours, and it doesn't feel great for you to have as so much pressure on the wrist, there's a few easy things to think about. One is grip more with the finger pads themselves. You can adjust the finger tips or ridge tops with the wrist lifted. That builds some strength quickly. Some folks prefer to change to fist every once in a while. Different options. Mostly grip more under the fingertips and it will help. Okay, full plank pose. Walk the feet back. I think heels together, squeeze the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, tone the belly, look a little forward past the hands. And then can you rock slightly forward, shoulders slightly in front of the back of the wrist, and then back in line. If it's okay with that, do it one more time, slightly forward, and then back. Lower the knees and turn the hands out to the side so your thumbs should face forward to the front of the mat and fingers to the sides of the mat. We'll stay on our knees and go slightly forward, shoulders slightly forward of the wrist, kind of over the line of the thumbs, and then back. And do it just one more time, slightly forward, and then back, okay? We're gonna go one more turn. So now the fingers face back towards the knees, and the thumbs face out towards the side of the mat. I can tell I've been lifting and moving boxes. That's super tight. If it feels okay, do the movement forward and back again a couple of times there. Sometimes that full 180 turn is too much. If that's the case, you would just keep the hands more out to the side or straight ahead. Slowly walk your hands back so it's fingers forward, thumbs facing in towards each other. Back to the toes for full plank. Lift the right leg a couple of inches off of the ground and then lower it down. Lift the left leg a couple of inches up and lower it down. Now like you're marching, do it 8 times. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees down, sit back on your heels, and rotate the hands. Full circles, one way and the opposing way. Take the hands out in front of you like stop signs. And then I like to take the fingertips all the way down to the palm. That one hand tries to push through the stop sign as the other hand pulls back. And then you switch stop sign with the second hand. And really do try to get fingertips all the way down to the crease of the wrist, not in the middle of the hand, so that there's an even pull back here. So hold way down at the base of your wrist. Okay, and then just shake, shake, shake it out. Good, So we'll have some concentrated time on the hands, so I just want to warm us up like that. Let's go into our lunge though. Step the right foot forward. Hands can go on the inside of the leg to get us started today. Lift the back knee up. Our long, low stride here, as if the inner thighs are squeezing something right in the center, hug in. And take the right hand up for the twist. Change to down dog lunge. Hands go out towards the left corner of the mat. Turn the back heel flat down. So 2 sure feet. Press down and away from one another. Down dog lunge here. And then the figure 4 legs, Suki dog. Walk the hands around the front foot. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Bend into the left knee to sit lower in the legs. And get a really nice hip opener here. Strengthening and toning the upper body as we do it. And then lower the right leg to the mat. Second side for all of this. So bring the left foot forward, low lunge, pick up the back knee. We're always lining up, knee over ankle, fingertips in line with our toes, all that good stuff. And then add in left hand high for the twist. Place the left hand to the inside of your foot. Spin the back heel down. As you walk the hands out, they don't have to have much weight or any weight at all. Keep it in your legs. The weight likes to sink into the front leg. Try to push up and back through the back leg here. And then change back to your low lunge. Suki dog is the cross of the left ankle over the right thigh. Bend the right knee a lot. Sit into the legs. So for me, the more that I bend this right leg and sit lower, the more intense that posture becomes. So you're finding your measure for best success right now. And then down dog. Come forward to plank. Okay, pull the right knee up and into your chest, round the back, and then step back. So we marched before, now we're doing like mountain climbers, left knee up and into the chest, and then back, and then faster for 8. You pull right in and step, left in, step back for 3, step, 4, step, 4 more, and 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees down, sit back on your heels, interlace your hands, flip the palms, push the thumb and first finger up towards the sky. Of course, any of these plank variations, you could skip the variation and hold plank. You could do the variation on your knees instead of the toes. Okay, add in a little twist. Drop the arms, look over your right side. Inhale, lift both arms up to the sky. Exhale, look over your left side. Inhale, both arms go up. Make it through to all fours. Lift the right leg up and back in line with the spine. And the left hand out in front. So opposite arm and leg here. Just like we do in full plank, instead of looking down at your hand, look a little forward. Even try looking past the lifted hand. And then lower the left hand, lower the right knee. And do this pose on the second side. Left leg goes up and back. Right arm out in front. If you're wondering what to do with your foot, flex the foot and point the toes down. That'll help keep the hips rotated even and down towards the mat as well. Lower the right hand, lower the leg. Stretch all the way through to down dog. Bend your knees a lot. Walk your hands backwards to your feet. Enjoy being off your hands. Hold like a rag doll. Sway from side to side. And slowly roll it all the way up to standing. Shoulders roll up and back a couple of times. Roll the shoulders forward and down a couple of times. Okay, take a walk all the way to the front of your yoga mat. Find mountain pose. And we'll get some sun salutations in the mix. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Extend from the hips out to the crown of the head. Step it back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. And change to downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath right here in dog pose. Look in between the hands and step or jump to the front end of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Do it all over again. Sun salutation A. With the repetition, breathe some simplicity into the practice. Half lift. Step back to plank. Lower down. Peel the chest up for cobra. And then downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Breathe here. Next inhale, look to the hands. On the exhale, move forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand, reach to the sky. Palms together, center of the heart. Keep going. One more round here. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, touch the ground. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower flat down to your mat. Cobra, curl the chest up. Downward facing dog, lift the hips up and back. Look forward to the front. Step or jump forward. Here together again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach the arms to the sky. And palms together, center of the chest. Pause here in the outer form. Take in a couple of rounds of breath. Sort of noticing how the heart rate is lifted, the heat throughout the body through this opening time of class. Okay, guys, don't overthink this one at all. Do tree pose. Place your right foot onto your left leg. What do you need to get yourself there? Are you using your hand? Are you not? The leg staying higher on the thigh, lower on the shin. Your tree pose. Check it out. Do squeeze the glutes, press down through the standing leg. And imagine the head lifting higher, higher, higher up towards the ceiling to create that long line of balance. And lower the arms, lower the leg. Give yourself a little shake. And then second side, again. Don't overthink it. Maybe you've even moved yourself against or closer to a wall so you feel a little extra support there. Check out how the second side is doing. And every day is a little different. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't congratulate yourself too much either. It's always nice. It's that consistency of coming back, falling off, coming into balance that we do congratulate ourselves for. Lower the hands, lower the leg. Good. Okay, long side of your mat. Take a wide stance. Again, a really familiar pose. Turn your right toes out. Extend the arms in either direction. Warrior two. Bend your right knee. You can mess with it a little bit. And then try to keep knee bowed over the line of your ankle with the arms open and extended. Look over the front fingertips. Really broad from fingertips to the back hand. Nice fullness in belly and breath with the hips open to the side, long length of the mat. It can be easy to want to dip into the low back here. That happens when the back thigh pushes forward and our glute is probably underactivated. Think thigh back, tailbone down, glutes strong, help you in balance. And straighten the right leg and simply turn your toes and give it a go on the second side. So back toes straight ahead, front toes turn all the way out 90 degrees, bend the front knee, warrior two. Good. Simply be exactly where you are. No need to strive or reach further out in front of you or try to worry about what happened a breath or two before. Just right here, breath by breath. Those are some great warrior twos from what I can see. Straighten the leg, turn your toes parallel to one another. Okay, let's take the hands to the hips. So I like to do this, bend the knees so that there's easy room, easy access, then hands down to the floor. Instead of palms down, go up to those ridge tops, fingertips down, wrist up. Then straighten the legs as much as you can, keeping that. Okay, all good. Walk the hands back more in line with your feet and send your head more down towards the floor. To keep you from falling back, push more weight into your toes. Lift up on your kneecaps. Tone your quadriceps, the front of your thighs, to get a good, safe, long stretch through the back of the legs. Okay, look towards the front of your yoga mat and walk yourself into a low lunge and then step it back to downward facing dog. Let's try that side plank that we did a lot last month. So right hand, outer edge of the right foot. The other leg stays a little bit forward. Lift the left arm up to the sky. It's just half a breath. And then we're going to switch sides. Place the left hand down, flip the heels to the second direction, and lift the right arm up. Okay, go back to the first side. So it's right hand down, flip the feet, left arm up. Now, can you lift the left leg for half a breath? Set it back down with the left hand, switch sides. Right hand in the air. As you do that, can you balance like a star? Right foot up. And then set it down, full plank. Stay right here, 2 hands down, full plank. Okay, try this. Can you place one leg like it's doing tree pose? And then set it down. The other leg like tree pose. So point the knee out to the side. I'm digging the heel into my leg and set it down. Knees down, give yourself a break. Roll out through the hands. So I think that tree pose from full plank, 2 hands down, is the harder mission here. So I did the harder thing first. We're going to add in another step of balance, but in terms of strength and conditioning, this tree pose side plank actually more doable in terms of the strength. It's just the added element of balance. Watch me for a second while you're still off of your hands. We're going to move in from down dog into the side plank variation that you already know. So rather than stacking the feet, the left foot is forward. And then instead of lifting and trying to hold the balance of star, I'm going to grab the leg and set it into tree. What's cool about this, some of you know, is that then they each can press into one another and open up the pose with a little more stability. Let's see what happens. Everybody take downward facing dog. And then from down dog, right hand, roll to the outer edge of the right foot, but step the left foot a little bit forward. Once you find that balance, bring the left foot using your left hand into tree pose. If you can get it all the way up to your thigh, you can actually have this push and pull response that make the pose a little more stable. I feel almost as if I'm leaning back against a wall when I can get that foot to press into my thigh. And then 2 hands down, back to downward facing dog. Second side, left hand. Now you can even do this with the bottom knee down. That's going to bring some less pressure in the bottom wrist as well. If you're doing it with bottom knee down, you would lift your right leg and pretend like you're setting it in tree pose, and you still get all of the benefits of the posture and the work, the rotation and opening in the hips. And then we all go back to downward facing dog. Look forward to the hands and step or jump to the very top end of your yoga mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, reach both arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Pause, take it in, 2 breaths. Okay, from here, high lunge. We're gonna keep our right foot as is, step the left foot back, and it can be little steps until you get into that full stride. Once your legs are still hip distance apart in full stride, torso straight up and down, arms straight up and down. Gently lower the back knee down to the mat. Once it touches, grab it forward like you're trying to pull forward. And then look up in between the hands. You can stop at any of these points along the way. Let the hips move a little more down and forward. So we're just opening up different levels of this back bend. Instead of arms up, they go a little bit back, and it's taking your entire torso back with you. I think the bigger trick here is I want to build us back upright. So then back to neutral spine, hips lift, back knee lifts, and step it all the way forward. Relax your arms down by your side. Keep the left foot forward and step the right foot back. Take your time again, kind of squish, squish through until you have your full stride, then arms up. Take it stage by stage. Here we're slowly lowering the right knee down, and it doesn't go just straight down. Action of the thighs is then to pull forward, and then the hips down and forward. Once you have all of that, look up in between the hands. Still with me, hands go back towards the back end of the mat. And as you do, you take your torso with you. Go back to neutral, look straight ahead. Take the back knee up. Step all the way forward to the front of your mat. Utkatasana is chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into your thighs. If your arms are getting tired, you're doing the right thing here. Thumbs straight up to the sky. Keep moving the arms up and back. Slowly slide lower into the thighs. We've got this. We can do it. Simple, not always easy. Stand all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. It's just not over-efforted. Forward fold. Pedal out your feet here. Whew. You can hang in ragdoll with a bend in the knees. What feels nice to you? And then find downward facing dog again. Okay, remember those mountain climbers that we did nice and slow? We're going to do a variation on that. Come forward to plank. Pull the right knee into your chest, round the back. Now, can you kick your right foot to the left side underneath? Bring it back in and step back. This can be done with the knees or the toes. Left knee in, a kick under, back in, full plank. Try it one more time. Knee in, kick to the left under the arms, back in and down. Left knee in, kick under the arms to the right. It's a twist. Back in and down, knees down, sit back on your heels. Oh my goodness, right? Again, that is using pure strength to move us through. You know, sometimes when we stretch, say if we're lying down on our back, you can just watch here for a second, giving us a break, and you've got one leg up. Your range of motion without using your hands is only so much, but then when you use your hands, you can get a little bit more in that passive range of motion. That's what this next endeavor is going to give us, or seeks to give us, from that plank variation. So again, keep watching. You did this. Instead of doing it without the help of your hand, you're going to pull in, turn to the side like side plank, hold your foot, then try to kick it out. Pull it back in and step back. You just might surprise yourself that it's a little, again, I think more doable than the version without holding on to the foot. We ready? We've got this, right? Starting down dog. Last big hard ask. Keep it simple by breaking it down step by step. So you come forward to plank. Pull the right knee in like you're doing that mountain climber. Now turn to the inside edge or flat on your left foot. Pick up the left hand like it's going to side plank, but instead you're going to hold on to your foot. And then kick it out. Pull it back in. Woo, downward facing dog. Let's see what happens on the other side. Plank pose. Left knee comes in like a mountain climber. Right foot goes flat. It's really like warrior two on that back foot. Can the right hand grab hold of the pinky toe side of your left foot? And then to best of your ability, kick it out. Back in and down. Lower. Cool? No. I know. So here's the thing. Everybody sees usually the top leg lifted, and that's probably what our brains are thinking, and we're trying to do this, same arm and leg. It is not that. It is under. This is what we were doing without holding on to the foot. So then the closest hand is your opposite hand to your foot. It's under, not up high. The bottom leg. You want to try it again? I get some head shakes. Okay, let's see what happens. So you're going under the bottom leg. It's less about flexibility here. It's strength and control. So if you're in plank pose and pull your right knee up and into your chest, turn flat foot on the left leg. Now your closest hand to your right foot should be your left hand. They hold and try to extend. In and down. If you're doing this on the second side, you can be on your knees to try it out to get the feeling of the pose. It would be left knee in. You're turning to your side with the right knee on the ground. Hold on, right hand to the foot. Kick it out. So you can totally work it there on that bottom knee down. Get yourself out of the pose. Do one more down dog to really stretch it out fully. I know that you guys have spent too much time on your hands probably by now, so let's stop doing that. Come up to kneeling. And I'd love to check in more with you guys after class on how that was going and what I can help with more. For here, let's come up to kneeling, arms straight out in front of us. Camel variation where you're leaning back with the power of your quads and then come back to upright. Lean back, power the quads. Oh my gosh. And back to upright. And do it one more time. Squeeze the glutes and come upright. Full camel. You lean back, trade one or both hands to your heels. Then the back bend comes into case where you press your hips forward. Chest up, eyes up. Hands to the waist. Back to neutral. Crawl to pigeon pose. Right knee behind the right wrist. Walk the left leg out and come down to your forearms. Here, down on your forearms, try to really soften and let go. We're building a lot of upper body strength and stamina through that side plank work, but what it also takes is a good stretch and opening in the IT band, the outer hip. Might have all tensed up on you through that work, so here, just try to soften and let things release. Give yourself the opportunity for a longer pose. Simply stay here several more breaths. Okay, and then as you build your torso upright, you can kind of fall towards the right side and slide your left knee in closer to the front foot. So you're in this S sit or a Z sit. I don't know why they're called one or the other. I'm going to put some weight on that back hand, but I'm staying on fingertips, ridge tops, and push the hips up and forward like you do in camel pose. Stretch the left arm overhead. A lot of folks will call this mermaid pose. And then lower it down and swing your back foot all the way around to the front. We're going to take this into a twist, left foot over the right side. That always throws me way off balance. So to get both sides of the butt on the ground, if you're like me and it's not, then stretch your bottom leg out. In all cases, though, we're going to twist towards the left lifted leg. Hold to the front of your shin, or you can go elbow to the outside of the thigh. You're used to this twist. Okay, we're slowly untwisting. And there's one more thing here. If you had extended that right leg, now can you tuck it back in? Shoelace pose, let me face you guys, is more knee to knee. So we're trying to cross the thighs deeper with the feet more out and then fold a little bit over. If you're at all like me, I fold just a tiny bit and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Outer hips, big time. Sometimes there's too much in the way, or of course we all have different spots where we're tighter, looser, and maybe you don't feel much when you do this. Okay, then I want you to lean back to unpretzel and stretch your legs just straight out. Reach your arms up. Big, big reach. Yes, forward fold. Just let yourself graze over the legs. Hold on to your toes or feet, or just let the arms drape down to the ground. Okay, and then come back up. Change over to all fours, because we're going to do all that on the second side too. And then left knee behind the left wrist, heel towards the right side. Walk the back leg out, come down to your forearms. And again, a little extra time to soften and release here in pigeon pose. Allow the mind to just listen in to how the body wants to set in this pose. Don't overthink or overdo the alignment, just what feels nice to you here. And walk it back up towards your hands. Roll off to the left side, so your weight's on that left thigh. Pull the back knee in, closer to the front foot. Weight's gonna go onto the left hand to balance. Lift the hips up, extend the right arm. Such a pretty pose. Lie it down. And then swing the right leg all the way around. Try stepping the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. If your right seat is now off of the ground, extend your left leg to help yourself roll down. And then twist, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. If the intensity of the hook of the elbow makes you fall back in the body, go towards the more simple thing of the wrap around the shin so that you can stay upright. And then we're going to untwist. Okay, if that foot is folded out, fold it back in. But then you're picking up the front heel and trying to slide it more towards the outer hip. So you're more in this knee to knee down position. And the more that we walk our feet out away from the line of the hips, the more intense that becomes, and we fold it over. I apologize for not mentioning this before, but a good variation, if that is simply not doable, is a figure 4 stretch here. Hits mostly the same muscle groups. This is a little more pull on the outer hip. Okay, and then again we come upright, lean all the way back on the hands, unwrap your legs straight out. Paschimottanasana, lift and fold over. I always think of yourself, your upper body like a rainbow, a nice even bend. No breaks in the spine here. And then come back upright to make your way down to your mat. So readjust to lie all the way down onto the mat. Pull your knees into your chest. Okay, we've got a few minutes here to re-enliven and do a little work. It's going to start with dead bug, arms and legs straight up. I want you to think of your body then like a canoe. Arms overhead, feet go lower. Lift your head and shoulders off of the mat. A long canoe. A little bit of a lifted banana. And then make the toes and fingers try to touch straight up to the sky. You open back up to that canoe shape. And touch straight up to the sky. One more time, open towards the canoe shape, but now pull your right knee up and into your chest like the mountain climbers we did, and stretch it out. Left knee into the chest, stretch it out. Right knee and stretch, left knee and stretch for 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees in, relax head and shoulders, hug the knees into the chest. So some different ways to work core strengthening aspects from plank, but without weight bearing on the hands and shoulders. Fun times, right? Take the arms out to a T shape. And then knees right over the line of the hips. Very 90-degree shape here, heels up in line with the knees. I want you to keep that 90-degree shape and then just drop heel down and up, heel down and up. This should be a little more doable version. Heel down and up, heel down and up. Do it 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees back into the chest. Okay, can you shoot your right foot towards the left hand as you twist into your L shape? I probably didn't say that well. If you're lying both knees down to the left side, you then extend the right leg and try to extend the left leg at the same time. And that's that underbody reach that we did in the side plank. We bring it back into the center and try it to the second side. So if you're doing it in smaller stages, knees fall to the right. Catch the outside of the left foot in your right hand. And then try to extend the right leg straight towards the bottom end of your yoga mat. Same shapes, different ways to find it. Okay, bring it back into the center. Pull the shoulders and head up. Give yourself a good squeeze. Full gratitude for the work, for the movement. Release it down. Notice what little movements you need. Unwind here. Is there another pose or two for you to add in prior to your Shavasana? Or are you ready to go right into that last pose of relaxation? Use the next 60, 90 seconds to find your way to the stillness. As you unwind, as you find your pose of relaxation, know as always That can be lying down on your side, propped with the wall, seated. Find your way. Scan the body. Release and relax in the toes, the feet, the ankles. Release and relax in the lower legs, knees, upper legs. Breathe spaciousness into the pelvis, the trunk. Bigness of breath. Release and relax from the shoulders, upper arms, elbows, lower arms. Release and relax in the wrists, the hands, the fingers. Travel back up the arms, the shoulders, release and relax the neck, the skull, the face. All of you. Release, relax. You are welcome to stay in this state longer. As you are ready, keep the mind soft, the body relaxed, but slowly make your way back to a seated position. Gather palms together, thumbs to the sternum. And as our way of honoring and really offering full gratitude for this time on the mat for ourselves, with each other, gratitude for the practice that brings so much, we'll close in the sound of Om, letting that gratitude transition into the rest of the day as well. As ever, sing along, listen, tune it out. Empty the breath here. Take a deep breath in. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.